Hello, Mermaid. So, I want to review a book, and it's a quite bad one this time. It is Omens, Curses, and Superstitions. How to Remove and Reverse Them by Lady Suzanne Miller. I immediately get suspicious when people feel the need to throw a title onto themselves. One thing is if you are part of some spiritual community where one rank or another give you a title, like priestess and so on and so forth. However, a lot of occult authors like to throw on Lady so-and-so, and it generally means they are pompous asses. I don't know if this applied to this lady. I don't know her, but yeah. Basically, the back of this book basically talks about how you can use this book to get rid of bad luck and so on and so on. But basically what it is more just lists of old superstitions. And it just goes through them so quickly that you have no details. It would have been much better if there were a third of the superstitions mentioned, which I went into proper detail, because basically it is so generic, it's actually wrong. Let me make an example. She talks about basically superstitious customs. And she talks about in Japan, it is considered to be extremely rude when you are eating, if you put your chopsticks in, basically when you have a rice bowl and you put your chopsticks straight into them. And she says, because that's what they do at funerals. No, it's because then they look like how you would put incense sticks at a funeral. And it's a lot of those different things. And then let me get started on when she talks about voodoo. A lot of these customs and so on and so forth is just plain wrong. So yeah, it just goes through things so quickly. I do like the little illustrations in front of each chapter though. They are sort of cute. And there's a lot of things here that are interesting. Chapters on the evil eye, all of these different things. But it basically, it rushes through the material so much that you don't really learn anything reading this book. These little illustrations are cute. At the very back of, basically the book also claims that it has rituals for this. I think it has 2 or is it 3 rituals? Let me see if I remember it right. Favorite spells and rituals. Basically you have one little ritual in here that's a sort of folklore ritual that I mentioned, and then you have her ritual that is a fast luck ritual. And there's one more, isn't it? Yeah, then you have a spell for personal protection. And there's 2 spells in there, and in the ads at the back there's actually another ritual in the ad, which makes the ad a lot better. Now, this book was published pretty late in 1990, 1996 or 1997 or something like that, but it looks and reads and feels a lot like the occult books of the 60s and 70s. Basically, back then, and I wasn't around back then, but I have gotten some of these books, and I also talked to a lot of occultists that started their careers back then. There wasn't a lot of occult bookstores around. They existed, but there weren't a lot of them. So if you were interested in these things, you got these catalogs, and also in the back of books there were ads for books, and you sent off to get them shipped to you. but you often knew absolutely nothing about them. They were printed on really poor quality paper, and yeah, some of them really good and got people started on the occult, and others not so bad, and you never really knew what you would get. And it really has that feel to it with just how it is printed. And for anybody who has read those mail order occult books from the 60s, 70s, and 80s really, you see, this really looks like that. So yeah, it's 1999 actually it was published. So, and you can look that with how it's published and the quality of the paper and all. So it's a little bit of the nostalgic bit for that. But yeah, if you want books on superstitions and old customs, there are far better books than this. I like to say no book is wasted. If you want a bit of spooky fun for Halloween or something, and you can find this book dirt cheap, I guess it can be a fun read. But take the information with a grain of sand, a grain of salt, because it bites over more than it can chew, and sometimes the information is just wrong. And I sort of have a feeling that Lady Suzanne Miller here more makes books as a way to advertise her spellcasting and divination services. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against someone earning money from skills they have worked hard on getting. Not a problem. And writing a book as a form of ad, that's fine enough if it wasn't very expensive in the first place. I got it cheap off this sort of curio shop slash piercing center. And we have here. But yeah, it's not a book I would work hard on digging up. And that is my review of Omen, Curses and Superstitions. How to Remove and Reverse Them by Lady Suzanne Miller. I'll give this 4 out of 10. I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day and blessed be.